allowing myself to be me helps me every single day to work towards building a good relationship with myself. It helped me to get out of quasi recovery and orthorexia, and it helped me to get my self-confidence and self-worth and just to open up to the world the person that I am.
That might even be US.
And you don't remember where?
No.
When I was 10 years old, I had skinned knees, a fan of everything with no time for apathy. A little lost, but I was unafraid of anything. And I miss those days. Oh, so unshakable. Pushing every bottle out into the sea, hoping the messages would make it to an island. Didn't stop to wonder what any of it means. Oh, to be younger, every moment in itself was so complete. Oh, to be younger, I gotta remember what it's like to live that free. At 16 I loved without limits, singing every feeling, trying to make it count. Nothing to hold me back. Oh, to know the world was mine, but have nothing figured out. Oh, so unbreakable. Windows down and speeding up the Florida beach. Couldn't imagine life would ever separate us, or that anything we faced would steal us from our dreams. Oh, to be younger, every moment in itself was so complete. Oh, to be younger, I gotta remember what it's like to live that free. Oh, to be young, to be young. To be young, to be young. Cut me out like a paper doll in a 50s magazine. I'll play the part just to catch a scent of your perfume through the breeze. Close our eyes and count to 3, fall into a deep daydream. After all, the fantasy is having you here with me. Whatever you want, my love, I'm pressing my luck, pour on it up. Whatever you want, my love, whatever you want, whatever you want. Your eyes speak a foreign tongue that just brings me to my knees endlessly, weaving through each word as they glide from cheek to cheek. Close our eyes and count to 3, fall into a deep daydream.
Hi everyone, I hope you all doing great. I had an absolutely amazing weekend. I had lots of rest, I had lots of fun, I've seen lots of fun people, and I just wanted to quickly mention that all of the things that we did, I actually allowed myself to do. I allowed myself to take some rest. I allowed myself to enjoy the time I have, to stay in the moment, to be more grounded. When I allowed myself to be me, I discovered so many amazing parts of me that I never knew existed. When I was in my dark place, my eating disorder made me stuck in these beliefs, not only about how my body is supposed to look like or how much I should eat, but also how I'm supposed to live my life, how many goals I'm supposed to reach, and if I do reach these goals, then I felt successful. If I didn't, then I felt a failure. I was so stuck in this black and white way of thinking. It's either good or bad. There is no middle ground. When I finally started letting go of this expectation of how I'm supposed to look or how I'm supposed to live my life or who I'm supposed to be, I finally started rediscovering myself again. I realized what I genuinely love, no matter what I ate or no matter how my body looked. I stopped relying on other people in order to find this proof that I'm successful or that I'm worthy. I stopped listening to other people's opinions on how I'm supposed to live my own life. Every single day right now, I'm waking up with an intention to allowing myself be me and to enjoying myself no matter what, no matter how I feel at the moment. I'm trying to become my own best friend. I'm trying to show up for myself in all the situations. I try to show up as unapologetic as possible. I'm rediscovering what is actually healthy for me in terms of eating, in terms of moving. Like, I'm not going to the gym and doing an hour and a half workout with heavy weights. If yoga works for me right now, and I do half-hour yoga every single day, and this is way more healthy for me than going out to the gym. Or in terms of food, it was so extremely unhealthy to exclude so many foods out of my diet. So now introducing them back, even if it's sugar, even if it's white flour, it's whatever it is, even if it's just regular store-bought cookies, this is way more healthy for me because health is way more than physical. You also have your mental health, and you have to take care of your mental health. And I feel like working every day on allowing myself be me, I became so much more appreciative to life and so much more grateful to things that surround me, to the people that are in my life, and to every single moment that I get to enjoy myself. And most importantly, food and body stopped being my obsession. And I honestly didn't even recognize when it happened. Because it's such a gradual process, you can't stop working in the relationship with yourself and expect that things are going to change tomorrow. I was suffering, I was struggling, but then things suddenly changed and I didn't even notice when. All I noticed is that I stopped being obsessed about food and my body, and I started putting my own worth and my own inner self far above my appearance. By allowing myself be me, I'm creating my favorite version of me. That version that existed before eating disorder struck me. I have the list of things that I really, really loved about myself and that I'm intentionally implementing now in my everyday life in order to feel alive, in order to feel fulfilled. And if you're struggling, it is so important to always have in your mind that favorite version of you. That's someone that you are striving to become. The more you think about this version, the closer you are eventually be becoming. Like, even if you don't notice that you are coming towards that goal of being who you want to be, you are still going towards it. And then it's just gonna happen one day. It's just gonna strike you and you won't believe that you are already there. My favorite version of me while I was struggling with orthorexia or when I was in quasi recovery, I was thinking that I want to be the girl who eats bagels for breakfast every single morning with lots of avocado and salt and pepper, because bagels and avocado I think are one of my favorite foods of all time. I was also thinking that I want to be the person who eats as much as everyone else because we are allowed to eat as much as everyone else. Girls are not supposed to eat less than boys. Like, I'm not supposed to eat less than my boyfriend, and you're not supposed to eat less than your boyfriend or girlfriend, because hunger doesn't have gender. The amount of calories that we need throughout the day is not defined by our gender. Sometimes I am more hungry than my boyfriend, and sometimes I do eat more than my boyfriend, and it is totally okay. It's okay to eat more than other people. And this is what I was holding in my mind, that I want to be my favorite version of me doesn't care how much other people live. Like, I want to eat as much as I want to eat. Another thing I was thinking when I was creating the ideal version of me, the favorite version of me, was I wanted to be able to make dinners or lunches together with other people, together with my boyfriend, and not thinking that I need to exclude oils, extra fat, or some ingredients that I was scared about. I just wanted to take a recipe and to cook everything according to the recipe and not being scared of trying new things. When I'm thinking about my favorite version of me, this is the person who doesn't stop eating at 7 just because someone else told me to stop eating at 7 because it's bad for your health or whatever. I don't even know what's bad for. Because it doesn't make sense. Like if my body's hungry at 10, I'm gonna go and eat at 10. Another important thing that added up to my favorite version of me was being able to order pizza. I know it may sound weird because so many people love pizza and so many people have pizza every single week. I did love pizza before my eating disorder, and then there was a long time that I convinced myself that I don't like it anymore. If you are struggling with introducing something that you used to eat before, but then you completely eliminate it out of your diet and you are scared to get it back, find someone who loves this type of food, and it will be way more easier to introduce it back into your life when you see that another person is peacefully eating this pizza and not caring about how many calories it contains. Another point of all those things that my favorite version of me had was snacking. I completely eliminated snacks when I was in my eating disorder or quasi-recovery and orthorexia, and I started bringing them back into my diet. Another thing was going on hikes and drives and picnics just randomly, spontaneously, without thinking, and being very flexible in the food that you are taking with you. Anywhere I went before, I tried to always make sure that I have some low-calorie option, that I have some fruit on me, that I can snack on. But now, since I allowed myself to be me and allowed myself to enjoy things that I love to enjoy, I started picking up like different protein bars, different granola bars, different types of other snacks. This experience of going out on a hike and having way more than just an apple or banana on you makes it so much more fun and so much more entertaining. Food is just awesome. Like, who doesn't love food? Another important thing, as you see, that we did this weekend was we went for a picnic and a barbecue. I was just eating to my satiety, I was nourishing myself, and then we started playing games, and during this time I wasn't thinking that I was still hungry or I could eat a little bit more or whatever, like, because I ate, I was satisfied, I was filled, and then it led me to completely be engaged in the other activities. We played some badminton, then we started playing Monopoly Deal. That was so much fun. That's one of my favorite games. I recommend it to everyone. But yes, my favorite version of me is able to join in with people and eat the same food as they're eating, and being engaged in other activities without further thinking about food. Another thing out of the list, that the things that make me my favorite me, were just going to a bakery on a random day and pick up some desserts and have them right away in the car without planning, without compensating, without working out before, working out after. You just jump into the car and you drive. We drove to Pure Bakery. It's the bakery in downtown Vancouver. I've been to the bakery twice. The first time was last year. Me and my boyfriend went there for my birthday and I got chocolate cake with lots of chocolate frosting. I still have the picture. And recently we discovered that this bakery has a closer location to where we live, because to the first location it was at a completely different city and we had to drive 2 hours, obviously not for the cake, but granted, I'm gonna go 2 hours just to have the chocolate cake. But anyways, it was way closer. We got peanut butter banana cake with chocolate frosting, and oh my goodness, it was so soft and so sweet, so full of sugar and white flour and all those fun stuff that I used to completely eliminate on my diet. And now I'm so grateful. Like, now my favorite version of me is enjoying this cake, and I honestly don't care how many calories it has. What I care about is sitting there in the car with my boyfriend and sharing this wonderful experience, sharing this wonderful moment with him. This is actually instant coffee with coconut creamer, I feel, and a little bit of sweetener. So good. I wasn't been able to do all the things when I was so focused on food and was so obsessed about my body, or when I didn't allow myself to be me, or when I didn't allow my body to be the size that my body wanted to be. I wasn't only shrinking my body, but I was also shrinking my life. My only focus, obsession, and value was the calorie. Now, every single day, I'm working on setting myself free from all the standards, all the opinions, all the expectations and assumptions that are communicated to us by the society, by the wellness and diet industries. Doing this, now every single day I wake up with anticipation. I anticipate the day. I don't think that what I'm gonna eat for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I'm anticipating every single day instead of planning my day to the slightest detail. Since I started allowing myself to be me, my life starts to become my obsession. I've discovered so many interests like YouTube, writing, coaching, investing. I have so much more space in my mind and so much more energy to go on hikes and drives and picnics and do barbecues, and so much more time that I can dedicate to reading, to playing video games, to play board games. And all of this is when I allowed myself to be me, when I allowed myself to show up to the world how I am and who I am. I've spent so many years not allowing myself to be me, just because I was so focused on how my body looked like, and just because I made my body my main priority. I finally feel that I'm letting myself free from that. Even though I had to overcome an eating disorder and I've been in quasi recovery for so many years, I really appreciate the experience that I went through, because this experience made me think who I really am. It made me think about my values. It made me want to strive to be me and to show up to everyone as truly me. It made me independent, confident, worthy, self-sufficient, and proud of what I've achieved, but also determined, fulfilled, and happy. Happy about where I'm right now, happy about everything that I've had to go through in my past, and happy and anticipating on what the future is gonna present to me. And all of this is just because I allowed myself to be me. I really hope that this message can inspire you to start showing up as yourself, to be more confident in who you are, because you are you and there is no one else in the whole world that is you. There is no one else in the whole world that looks like you, that has body size like you, and that is such a wonderful human as you are. So show it up to the world. There is so much more to you than your obsession about food and body.